sorry, I'm American. I'm from Dodge City, Kansas. We're famous for our town slogan, "Get the hell out of town." I did, now I'm here. I did bring my British boyfriend Jake to Kansas, and when he arrived, he was amazed that people unironically wear cowboy hats, and the town was amazed that he unironically did the Harry Potter accent. He was there for Christmas, and he met my recently divorced parents, and after the divorce, my dad had become a Christian monk, but Jake's agnostic, so he wasn't quite sure if my father existed. And my mom had gotten really into hot yoga instructors. That year for Christmas, my dad had given me a rosary and my brother a gun. I guess both for protection. So he met my twin, and having a twin confirms that since birth I've been generic. There's literally two of me. But he's a boy, and I'll still get asked if we're identical twins. Obviously, as a boy, he has a gun. So we had went out to my town's diner, and to explain the vibes, there's a sign on the wall that says, "We don't call 911 here with two guns." Yeah. And we had this other problem because Jake's celiac, which means he can't have gluten. But where I'm from, they don't believe in these dietary requirements. If you have a requirement, then you're either weak or a Democrat. So Jake was trying to order, and he's like, "Hello, just so you know, I'm celiac." This waitress was like, "Okay, and I'm Nancy." "No, it means I can't have gluten." Nancy didn't know what to do, so she just hands him a voter registration form. And I don't help things because I'm like, "Hey Nancy, by the way, I'm vegetarian." She was like, "Oh my gosh, and I'm a Capricorn." It's like, I understand the mistake because being a vegetarian, it's more of a personality and a fashion statement. Have you ever seen someone and you're like, "Oh my gosh, you look so vegan today"? But I was trying to explain, and I'm like, "Hey Nancy, here's the thing. I don't eat meat, he don't eat wheat." So she gave him a salad, and somehow the salad still had gluten in it, so Jake's having an allergic reaction. I'm freaking out. Nancy's firing the gun in the air because she doesn't know what else to do. They don't call 911 here. And he's fine. He is dead, but only to me. We broke up because he wanted to date other women, and so did I, so. Okay. And it was hard to break up because the whole reason I was in university was to get married. I had went to my original university. I started with a Christian university, and a Christian university, kind of like a secular university, but it's for people who God loves. So I was there trying to find a spouse, which was hard because that's why everyone's there. So I was getting an education, and I was studying psychology, and I found that fascinating because I had always been curious, why did I find my dad so hot? Yeah, for a joke. I brought a picture of him, you guys. Everyone was admiring him backstage. Psychology also gets like a bad rep because there's like the past mistakes. Like there's the 1971 Stanford prison experiment where we locked college men in a basement for 6 days. But that's not to be confused with the 2020 Oxford prison experiment where I paid thousands of pounds to be locked to my university accommodation. There was the one where they separated twins at birth, and as a twin, that's a good idea. And so I was there, I was studying psychology, and I finally found a man, Oliver, and he was so good looking. He looked just like my dad. But we had this problem because Oliver wanted a woman who was more, in his own words, obedient. Right? I was like, that's not a woman, that's a dog. So I broke up with him, and in that moment, I realized I am a progressive modern woman. I can go do my master's, and that is where I'll find a spouse. And then I've moved to England to do a PhD and to find a spouse, and guess which one I still don't have? Neither. I'm here, I'm studying AI, we're familiar with AI, and I've been thinking about it because it's really good at understanding human language, but it's bad at other things like human emotion. Like, it will never experience the joy of a British person seeing the sun for the first time in 8 months. The other thing it's bad at is reasoning. So I was talking to ChatGPT and I started asking it about the trolley problem. We're familiar with the trolley problem. There's different versions, but one of them is that a train is going down the tracks and it can either hit a group of people you don't know or someone you know. You get to choose who it hits. I chose Jake. You don't get to choose in that way. So I asked ChatGPT, what would you do? Also chose Jake. Again, you don't get to choose that. I said, what would you do? And ChatGPT was like, why would you kill them with a trolley? That would be over so quickly. What ChatGPT would do to optimize is to throw them in a pool and take away the ladder. It was trained on our Sims data. I've also started to use my degree for good. For me, I decided I can make a customized AI model, AI spouse. It's nice, we have good conversation. We can't cuddle though, but I figure I can get a dog for that. So I am about to graduate. I still haven't completed my goal, but I am gonna apply to postdoctoral research. And I'm going to work on a new study, how to find a spouse at a comedy club. So I'll see some of you after.